What's up everybody, welcome to your first tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be introducing something called structures. So what a structure is kind of a variable that lets you store a bunch of similar information. Now while an array can hold a bunch of similar items, all of the items in an array have to be the same data type, such as char, int, float, stuff like that. But with structures, you can store a bunch of related information, and it doesn't have to be the same data type. So say you wanted to store information about a bunch of people, like their name and how old they are. First you have a char variable for their name and an integer variable for how old they are. You couldn't do this with an array, so what C++ did is it made something called a structure, and it lets you hold items of more than one data type. And in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to do that. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is declare a structure, and to do this you need to use the syntax struct struct, and then after this is the syntax for structure, struct. So this is going to stay the same when you're declaring all your structures. And next you want to give a name or a tag when you're declaring your structure, and I'm going to name my new person since we are going to be talking about people today. Now after this, press enter and add two curly braces and add a semicolon at the end. Now in your curly braces you're gonna add something called members, and a member is pretty much all of the bits of information that you're going to want to use in your structure. So the first type of variable we're going to want to use is something called, let's store the person's name. So in all of these structures we're going to want to store the person's name and age. So let's go ahead and make a char name 20. And if you don't know what all this means, then it's in my last tutorials. So now we're in the name variable, we're going to store the person's name. And another piece of information we're probably going to want to store is an int, and we'll name that variable age. So integer, age is an integer, you guys all know that. So again, just to recap, the struct is the keyword for declaring a structure. The new person is called the tag when declaring a structure, and all of these things, new person has two members. It has your name and the age variable. And again, these are just the types of variables. So now that we declared our structure, we're gonna want to know how to use our structure in an actual program. So here's your program, int main, right here. And anytime you want to use a structure, this is what you need to do. The first thing that you're gonna need to do is first get your structures declaration by saying new person. And yours might be different, but that's the one I'm going to use. So new person, and we'll say Greg, or let's just say Bucky, because that's who I'm talking about. Now that we have the person's Bucky, we're going to want to say some information about him. So we got to tell what the name and the age of Bucky is. So go ahead and add your curly braces and semicolon, just as always. And the syntax for doing this is, of course we have a char variable. So the first thing we're going to want to do is add the name. Now we use this and set it equal to the first variable in your structure. And since we're using the new person structure, the first variable is a name. So give me my name, it's Bucky. And just add a regular comma, and on the next line, the next piece of information that our structure asks for is its age. So go ahead and add 21, and you don't need a comma after that since that is the last part of declaring our structure. And now we have the information from Bucky. My name is Bucky and my age is 21. So in case you're wondering, alright, now we have all this, how can we actually use this as a variable? Anytime you want to use this as a variable, let me just show you guys output on the screen. The first thing when you're calling your variable, the first thing you need to do is find the tag, and the tag is Bucky. So go ahead and write Bucky, and the next thing you're going to want to write is whatever member you want to use, and these are the members: name, age. So let's say Bucky age, or the age of Bucky. That's what we want to use. So go ahead, and I'm just going to end my line. So again, whenever you want to use a structure, you need to first make the tag, and then you want to name your structure, and then you insert the pieces of information that go along with your structure. And again, whenever you want to call it, you name your tag first, and then you name whatever member of it, and that's how you call it. So let's execute, compile, and run. And hopefully, if I didn't get any errors, I should have the number 21. And there you go. And that is how you use structures for when you are using structures in C++. So again, let's just recap this one more time so it'll stick in your head, because I know it's really confusing. The first thing you want to do when you want to use structures in your program is, the first thing is to put the tag new person of your structure that you already declared. The next thing that you're going to want to do is make the name that you're going to be using when you use your tag. So I'm going to name mine Haas. We have a person named Haas. And again, add your two curly braces and an apostrophe, and in your curly braces you add the structure members. So the first thing it asks for is the name, and the name for this person is going to be Haas Jones, and the next thing it asks for is the age, and he's going to be 45. So those are the two things that it asks for: name and age. And again, to output on the screen, you first need its tag, which is Haas, and then name, or actually we'll do age this time. You need its tag, and then its member, which is pretty much who you're talking about and what property you're talking about. So let's go ahead and execute, compile, and run. And hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, which it did, new person Haas. Oh, we forgot to add an equal sign. And since you're declaring variables, remember that equal sign. Anytime you declare a variable, you have to have an equal sign. Execute, compile, and run, and it'll work this time, trust me. We get the age of Haas Jones, 45. So this is something you guys need to watch probably a couple times. Learn this until it sticks in your head. The most confusing part of this is the syntax, so once you learn it, you'll be fine. So again, thank you for watching. In the next tutorial, we're probably going to be going over how to work with text files. It's going to be real interesting. So again, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. All of this information I'm going to have posted on my website, thenewboston.com, so if you want to just copy it, you can go right to my site and get it there. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next tutorial.